Good evening, everyone. This is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds. So tonight is going to be a busy night. I'm going to be going live 3 times tonight. I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that. So what's going on is Paper Pumpkin was mailed out very late this month because of the free shipping date that we had with Stampin' Up. And everybody is just now starting to receive their Paper Pumpkin kits. So that's why I'm a little bit late with my Paper Pumpkin this month. So when I'm done with this video, I'm showing you how to assemble your kit, plus the 3 projects you see here on the back. I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to end the video, and then I'm going to go into my alternatives, my very own alternatives. So this month, the name of the kit is Something for Everything. The reason it's called Something for Everything is because we have this huge stamp set that has a lot of sentiments, and you can use whatever you want. You could actually assemble most of your cards and then wait to stamp your sentiment for when you need something, a specific card. So that's why this is called Something for Everything. Now here's a picture of, let me get rid of this here, of what the cards look like. We have 4 of each design, so there's 12 cards total. I'm going to bring the first one in. And we're going to assemble all 3 of them together. They're really simple, they're quick, and that's what's great about needing a card at the last minute and you don't have a stash made up. Dig your Paper Pumpkin kit out. So we're going to start out with the shaded spruce card base on this one. I've already gone ahead. I thought there was 2 in there, it's so thick. I've already gone ahead and folded it. I'm going to bring in the little decals that came, or stickers that came with the kit. So for this one, we're using the hexagon shape. So all you're going to do is peel and stick. Very easy. And then next, where's my gold piece right here? This is also a peel and stick. And what I like to do is lift up on all the little leaves first so I don't rip anything. Hello everyone, I can see you all coming on. So I'm going to go pretty quickly on some of these tonight, only because, like I said, I'm doing 3 videos tonight. Now this is what the little gold piece looks like. We're going to stick that right on the hexagon. You can see how shiny that is. It's gold foil. Next, I'm doing a birthday card on this one. The color that came with the kit is the terracotta tile. I'm going to use my big pad. And let me bring the sentiment in, or the banner that the sentiment goes on. So this one is happy birthday. Now the kit does come with stamping dimensionals and also this little sheet of glue dots. I am opting to use my snail just to be a little bit quicker tonight. I don't want you to have to watch me peel all those little dots. That would be ridiculous. Okay, and then we're going to add this right to the center of the hexagon. And then we have some pretty bling. There's 2 sizes. So I'm going to add one of the larger ones right at the top, a small one right beside it, and then another one right below. So how pretty is this card? This would make a good masculine card. You could even do the sentiment with a darker color to make it look more masculine. So there's card number 1. Let me go ahead and set up for card number 2. I think card number 2 is my favorite. Now this one is going to be using the crushed curry dotted background. Now I did go ahead and cut up all my gold pieces. That comes in a big sheet, but it made it easier for me. Now I find that these are a little tricky to peel off. So what I usually do is I start peeling it off, I hold it, I use my paper piercer, and I just push down on the guts so that the guts stay on the sheet. I call them guts. The pieces that you don't use are guts. Now we're going to take this little swirly, stick that right in the middle, and then I'm going to bring my sheet back in. I'm going to grab 2 of the flowers. Now I know some of you guys did not get your kits yet. It's coming, seriously. Stampin' Up! Did their part by mailing them. A lot of it is the US mail, so just be patient. Okay, I'm adding 2 leaves tucked right there. 2 more leaves down here. It looks funky with the middle there, but you're going to cover that with the sentiment. We're going to do thank you on this one. Everybody should be sending thank you cards out after Christmas. That's the polite thing to do. So there's my thank you. Again, we're adding stamping dimensionals. And that's going to cover that little blank spot right in the middle. And then we have these little tiny flowers. This is in the Grapefruit Grove color. I'm going to do 3 of those. Gotta have some more bling. I've used so much of my supplies. I'm going to explain that in my next video. I kind of did an oops, but I've used so much supplies that I do have some extra bling in case I run out as I do these cards. So there's card number 2. Again, you can use whatever sentiment you would like. Now let's move on to card number 3. This is number 3. Look at the pretty gold. It looks so good against that old olive circle. So on this one, we're going to peel the circle. And it's going to go centered horizontally, but a little bit higher vertically. This one is going to be congratulations. So let me ink up my stamp with my ink pad. So some of you guys are just saying you just received your kit. I just got mine on Friday, so they were slow getting here this month. Be patient. They should all, I would think they would all be here by this week. Now this is the larger gold branch that sticks. Again, I'm going to just pull on the leaves to lift them up a little. I don't think these are hard to, are easy to rip, but I just like to do this just in case. Yeah, I just said that, and I think I just ripped a leaf off. I'm gonna have to bring in my paper piercer on this one. Boy, this one is being stubborn. All the other ones I've used were okay. Now, this one is actually going to go at an angle. See, look how pretty that is. I love that. And then this one, the designer paper background does all of the work for you, so you don't need much to decorate this card. There, that's card number 3. So now let me bring all these in so you guys can look at them while I set up for the 3 alternative projects that you see here on the back of the project sheet. I love that they're doing this now. This is the 3rd or 4th month that they started giving us samples to go by. So let me go ahead and get set up. Okay, so now that you've seen these, I'm going to move them over. And I'm going to start out with this one right here. Now don't laugh at me, my eyes are getting bad, so I always have to dig out my magnifying glass so I can see it better. See that this works. I can see all the details when I do that. Isn't that terrible? Now, I did say that I messed up. So what I did is I did a whole bunch of alternative cards you're going to see on Facebook and on my blog. I actually have a blog hop on January 2nd. I did 2 cards for that. I went to town creating cards and I forgot to save some of the gold pieces to use on this card and a few others. So what I did is I've gone ahead and cut my own. So if you want to copy this card, just use the stickers that came with the kit. But just know that this is not part of the kit. I used the Tropical Thinlits dies, this one right here. So I'm just substituting only because I messed up and didn't keep enough of the gold to do my cards. Now this piece is one of the card fronts, and it measures 5.5 by 2 1/4. I'm just going to snip in the middle, work my way to the center at an angle. Let me just even this out just a tad. Okay, now I'm going to glue that in place with my snail. And that's going to go, it's going to be too long. I just kept it the length of the card. So I'm going to cut the top off. I'm going to trim. And this is a piece of shaded spruce, I forgot to say. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now I need to get my stickers. We're again going to use the old olive circle that you see here. That's going to go right about there. So if you have some of the gold pieces, this is where you would put the little one in the center. But like I said, I ran out, so I'm going to use these little ones. And I'm sure you guys have plenty of die cuts, even if you don't have this one that you could substitute. So I'm just going to glue 2 of those branches like that. And then let me see what I'm going to use for the sentiment is just because. It's kind of a neat sentiment that could be used for different occasions. And here's my dimensionals. And then this will go right in this, a little bit below center. So there's alternative card number 1. You can see right there in the samples. And you could always add some bling if you wanted to. So now let's go ahead and move over to this one here. Now this one I really had to use my magnifying glass because I couldn't see all of the detail. And I'm switching things up a little bit on this one. Okay, let's make some room. So I started out with a old olive card base, again 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm using the brick embossing folder, and I've already gone ahead and embossed it. You can see how pretty that is. Now let's go with the layers. We've got crushed curry, 4.5 by 3 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and glue that in place, and it's going to go right in the center. And then I have a piece of Whisper White, 4 1/4 by 3. Now this is where I changed things up a little bit. I brought in my own flowered image from the Floral Essence. I'm using these 2 bold images. I'm going to see if I can bring that up so you guys can see that right here there's some crushed curry flowers. I might have to use my magnifying glass so you guys can see that too. So I'm going to use crushed curry ink. And all I'm going to do is add a few flowers in the background. And we'll add one more little one right here. And then I'm going to bring in the stickers. And I'm going to layer the flowers. I'm going to do 2 of them, like so. And let me see what else I wanted to do is to use the Grapefruit Grove ink. We're going to use the image with the 3 little flowers. I'm going to ink with the Grapefruit Grove, stamp on the scrap, and then just lightly add them to the background. So this is called stamping off. You can see how much lighter the images show up. And then let me see what else. We have the little bow that I've already made with the twine. There's a little piece of the shaded spruce that I kept from one of the card bases. This is 1/4 inch wide. I'm just going to cut it at an angle. I'm going to add some adhesive. Okay, this one doesn't want to work. Let me grab another one. There we go. And then I'm going to add the little green strip right here. Trim that off. And then let me see what I was using. I'm trying to see what I'm using for. It says you're the best. Let me see what I've got set aside. You're the best. I'm going to do this one with the shaded spruce. And again, I'm going to add dimensionals. I'm actually going to glue this to the front of the card first before I add the sentiment. And then the sentiment's going to be centered over that little piece. Just that little piece of shaded spruce makes everything pop. And lastly, I'm going to add this bow that I created with the twine. I'm just going to scrunch up the glue dot and then add the bow right there. So let me shorten up my little ends a little bit. Okay, so there's alternative card number 2. They used a different image in the background there, but I thought this flower was pretty. It worked out really well. So there's alternative number 2. One more to go. Now for this one, I'm going to replicate the 2 scrapbook pages they have here using our pocket pages. So let's start out with the first one. So I've gone ahead and added the white piece here where you would insert a photo. Now let me grab these 2 sentiments. I'm going to see if I can sneak that in there so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is one of the card bases cut at 4 inches by 3 inches. We're going to actually glue 2 sentiments on this one. And again, I'm going to use the shaded spruce ink. And the first one says, "Hey friend." And I'm going to go as close as I can to the right end. And then the next one says, "Love you lots." So, "Hey friend, love you lots." Now, because this is in a pocket page, we don't want to raise it up. So I'm going to glue this all down flat. And of course, anything that you see here that I'm doing for the pocket pages, you could actually turn into a card very easily. Whoops, that one's, I gotta go in some more so that the H is not cut off. This one is a little crooked. And then all I'm gonna do is trim the ends. And then we're going to slip this inside. So there's the first part. The second part, again, is 4 by 3. This is using the crushed curry dotted pattern. And again, we're going to use the little swirly. I need to find my paper piercer. Again, I'm going to remove the guts by pressing down on them. And then this is going to go, oh, there's one more there I gotta take out. This is going to go right here. More flowers. More leaves. Now I'm going to tuck the leaves right under the flower. Maybe. And I'm going to add 4 leaves this time. So you guys, I have so much stuff left over even after I've made all of my projects. Like I was all done today with everything, and I still have a lot of stickers and a lot of the card bases left over. Okay, and that's going to be my little flower. That's going to pop right in here. So there's sheet number 1. Let me bring in sheet number 2. Now for this one, I did change up this square just a tad, only because I didn't have a large enough piece after I had all of my cards made up. So this is where the photo would go. This is the Terracotta tile card base, 4x3. We've got the large branch image, or branch sticker. Hopefully this one will come apart a little bit easier than the other one did. There we go. And this one kind of goes at an angle. And all we're going to do to this one is actually add a little bow that I made with white twine. That's going to go right in the center. Okay. See how easy these pocket pages are to work with. So this would look pretty on the front of a card also if you did a card base with some designer paper. So let me slide that in there. And then we've got the crushed curry layer, again, 4x3. Now what we're going to do on this one, because the stickers are all sticky, we're going to use the hexagon. I'm going to stick it to a white piece. Just a white scrap piece. I'm going to use it as a pattern. Very easy to cut around. And this is going to be the layer that you would do all of your writing on. So we are going to cover this part only because it was sticky. That's going to go right on the edge. I'm going to trim that off. I can't think of the word I want to use. What's the word I want to use when you're writing your journaling? This is where you would do your journaling. Okay, now we're going to add some leaves and a few little flowers. Let's see, they've got one there, and then they've got one down here, and then one more right here without a leaf. So there's your journaling layer. That's gonna, oh, you know what I didn't do? We have to stamp some of the little flowers, so let me get my chamois so I can take the ink off my stamp. And then we're just going to add a few flowers to the background. And that's it. That's all I'm going to add. So just a few up here going diagonally. Now we can put this inside the pocket. And on the last one, they had just the flowered card base, but like I said, I only had little pieces left. So I cut the polka dot one 3x4. Here's the piece of crushed curry, 3.5 by 2.25. I'm going to center that. And then here's the little flowered piece, which is only 1.5 by 3. I had very slim pickings on this. This is all I had left. And then this is going to go on the inside also. And you know, you could add a flower on here, one of the larger flowers. So there's the little, the 2-page spread on the pocket pages. So let me bring in the projects that I just worked on. We just did these two. These were the 2 alternatives from the back of the project sheet. And then we had the 3 samples if you create them using the directions. Okay, so that's it for this video. This is exactly what I said at the beginning. This is assembling the kit plus the 3 projects on the back. I'm going to end this video. Give me about 5 minutes to set up, and I'm going to come back live for video number 2 for my own alternative projects. So see you in a little bit.